British farmers have reached a breaking point, and the frustration directed towards Keir Starmer's government is palpable. The recent implementation of an inheritance tax on farms valued over £1 million has ignited a firestorm of anger among those who work tirelessly to keep the nation fed. Farmers have been vocal in their discontent, staging protests and vocalizing their grievances against a government that seems deaf to their pleas. Instead of addressing their concerns, Starmer and his administration have opted to turn a blind eye, dismissing the outcry from an essential sector of the economy. This blatant disregard has pushed farmers to the brink, prompting them to mobilize for what promises to be one of the largest protests in UK history. As reports emerge, it's clear that farmers are organizing a series of coordinated blockades targeting major supermarkets. This tactic is designed not only to disrupt the supply chain but also to send a stark message to the government: enough is enough. The plans, reportedly conceived by more radical factions within various campaign groups, involve blocking key distribution hubs, creating chaos across the nation, and leaving supermarket shelves bare. The potential for disruption is enormous, and it's a clear signal that farmers are willing to escalate their actions if their demands continue to be ignored. But the implications of these protests extend beyond mere inconvenience for consumers. Farmers have made it clear that if the government remains unyielding, they will ramp up their activities even further. The escalation could culminate in complete economic shutdowns, a drastic measure that would cripple the country. A source familiar with the farmers' strategy hinted at an initial short blockade to demonstrate their capability, followed by longer shutdowns of 12 to 24 hours. If the situation does not improve, they are prepared to take even more drastic action, effectively shutting down the nation until the government agrees to engage in meaningful dialogue. The threat of a food supply crisis looms large. A halt in food production and distribution could lead to severe consequences, not just for farmers but for the entire population. The government has picked a fight with the wrong group, one that plays an essential role in the country's well-being. The stakes are high, and the potential fallout from this conflict could be catastrophic. The Labour government may soon find itself in a position where it has no choice but to heed the voices of the farmers if it wishes to avoid further unrest. Moreover, the upcoming county council elections in May could serve as a pivotal moment for both the farmers and Starmer's government. Should the farmers' grievances remain unaddressed, they could unleash a wave of political consequences, potentially undermining Labour's standing in rural constituencies. The anger brewing among farmers isn't just a passing phase. It's a significant movement that threatens to be felt at the ballot box. It's hard to ignore the sentiment that the current government is being harsh and even cruel towards the very people who provide the nation with food. The disconnect between the government and the agricultural community is stark, and as farmers rally together to assert their rights, they are also rallying support from the general public. The message is clear: when an essential sector is pushed to the margins, the consequences can be dire for everyone. In this climate of tension, it is crucial for the government to listen and understand the depth of the farmers' frustrations. The time for complacency is over. Farmers are ready to fight back, and their resolve signifies a larger issue: the need for the government to prioritize dialogue and solutions that address the realities faced by those who toil in the fields. Ignoring their plight will not only lead to chaos in the supply chain but could also set off a ripple effect that disrupts the entire economy. As this situation unfolds, the question remains: will Starmer's government choose to engage with the farmers and find a resolution, or will they continue down a path of indifference? The farmers are sending a powerful message to the Labour Party: they will not be silenced, and their demands for fair treatment and respect will not go away. The looming protests serve as a reminder that the agricultural sector is not just a part of the economy, it is the backbone of the nation. If the government continues to ignore their voices, they may find themselves dealing with the consequences of a united and determined agricultural community ready to take a stand. The time for action is now, and the farmers are prepared to make their presence felt in a way that cannot be overlooked.